dears, and happy Sunday. I hope everybody has had a fabulous weekend. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Emma, and I'm so happy you clicked on my What's for Dinner video. I hope you will love it. We'll give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I post a What's for Dinner video every Sunday. They are 4 easy, affordable, and delicious weeknight dinners that I made for my husband and I the previous week. Let's jump right on into this week's video. Here's everything I'm going to be using for tonight's dinner. We're going to start by opening and cleaning up our ribs. Then I season them with a little Famous Dave's rib rub. Just going to rub that all over the ribs. Because we're going to pressure cook these, we're going to use a cup of liquid. So I'm using a can of Coke, and we're just going to rub the ribs in the Coke before we actually cook them. We had taken the air fryer basket out to coat the ribs in Coke. So now we're just gonna put that back in, and then we're gonna pop the ribs in the air crisper basket. And now we're gonna pressure cook our ribs, making sure the vent is sealed, and we're gonna cook them on high for 20 minutes. And for our sides, I'm just gonna make some Velveeta mac and cheese and some beans. Once the ribs were done, we just did a manual release, and we're just gonna let the pressure all come out of our pressure cooker. And I'm gonna start bringing a pot of salted water to a boil for our mac and cheese. Once all the pressure was out of the pressure cooker, we opened the lid, and we are going to air crisp our ribs now at 400 degrees for 15 minutes. Halfway through, we decided just to flip our ribs. My pasta water is boiling up, so I'm just gonna add my macaroni noodles. And the 15 minutes are up on the air crisp, so we're gonna add some barbecue sauce to our ribs. And then we're just gonna heat up the barbecue sauce. I'm just gonna air crisp it at 390 for 2 minutes. Here the ribs are all done. We just took them out and put them on a plate to rest for 10 minutes until it was time to serve them up. And my macaroni noodles are done, so I just drained them, and then I'm just gonna return them back to the heat. Add our Velveeta cheese sauce packet, give it a good old stir, 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 and then we're gonna add some sharp cheddar cheese. Here it is, all served up. Delicious ribs, the beans, and the mac and cheese, and a Hawaiian roll. Delicious. Here is everything I'm going to be using for tonight's dinner. I'm going to start by putting 3 pork chops into my slow cooker. I'm going to add a teaspoon of tomato bouillon along with some garlic powder and a cup of water. And then I'm going to slow cook this on low for 8 hours. My pork chops are cooked up. Now I'm going to shred them. I have roughly shredded my pork chops. Now I'm going to add some of this pepper and onion blend vegetables in with the pork chops. Give it a little stir, stir, stir. Then I'm just going to pop the lid on and let the bell peppers cook through while we cook our rice and our bread. And that's just going to keep warm. For our bread, I'm preheating my oven to 375. And I just have some of this rosemary olive oil loaf that I picked up at Walmart on sale for 67 cents. So I'm gonna throw that in once my oven is preheated. For our rice, I have 2 brown rice minute cups. I'm gonna throw them in my saucepan like so. And we're gonna add a couple of teaspoons of Monterey Jack queso. 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, 3 teaspoons, and I'm gonna get that a little stir, 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 see if it's enough. I'm gonna just add 1 more. And I'm just gonna let that warm through. Bread is done, rice is done, now it's time to serve. For our bread, I just decided to make a little dip, so I just added some olive oil and some balsamic vinegar to a bowl so I could dip my bread in it. And then here it is all served up. Delicious. Here is everything I'm going to be using for tonight's dinner. I have greased my baking dish. I am preheating my oven to 400 degrees. Now I'm gonna fry up my pound of ground beef. My ground beef has cooked up. Now I'm gonna drain it. Okay, I've drained my ground beef. Next, I'm gonna add a 10.5-ounce can of cream of mushroom soup, along with a little milk. Now I'm gonna give that a stir, stir, stir. Now the soup is all well combined into the ground beef. I'm gonna add this to my baking dish. I did grease my baking dish. All right, so now the ground beef is in there. Now I'm gonna add some mozzarella cheese and some cheddar cheese on top. Mozzarella cheese is on, and so is our cheddar cheese. Now we're gonna add a layer of tater tots, just like that. Now into my 400-degree oven. It goes for 30 minutes. Okay, it has been half hour. I'm gonna switch my oven to broil. And I'm just gonna broil it for about 3 to 5 minutes, just to make sure the potatoes are nice and crispy. My potatoes are nice and golden brown, so this is done. Here it is out of the oven. I'm gonna add a little extra cheddar cheese. And then on mine, I'm gonna add a little sour cream. That just sounds good to me, but my husband doesn't want sour cream on his. And then there it is all served up. Delicious. Here's everything I'm gonna be using for tonight's dinner. I'm gonna start by bringing a pot of salted water to a boil. I'm not really measuring anything out for this recipe. I'm just gonna throw it all together. So in my mixing bowl here, I'm gonna add some mayonnaise, about a half a can of sweet peas, and a 16-ounce package of diced ham. And I'm gonna give that a little stir, stir, stir. Then I'm gonna add the juice of half a lemon. And then give that a good old stir, stir, stir. Once it was all combined, I'm gonna add my cheese. I chose some extra sharp cheddar cheese, then I'm gonna add some salt and pepper. And I'm gonna put it in my fridge till my noodles cook up. Once my water was boiling up, I added my noodles, let them cook up. I drained them once they were cooked up. And then I'm going to add the pasta to my ham mixture. Give it a good old stir, stir, stir. I decided there wasn't enough mayonnaise, so I added a little more mayonnaise. And then also we decided to add some banana peppers, and I added a little bit of the juice of the banana peppers as well. Here it is all served up. I just, of course, added a little extra cheese on top. Delicious. And that concludes this week's What's for Dinner video. I hope you guys loved it. We'll give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I would love for you to come back on Wednesday for my soup short and Friday for my puff pastry short, and then the following Sunday for another What's for Dinner video. I hope you have a fabulous week. Bye.